I'm Terry Tarbox, and welcome back to the Flat to Fabulous Fun Flower series using premium icing sheets from Icing Images. Today I'm going to show you how to do a flower a little bit different. I know I've shown you the calla lily and the rose. Today I'm going to show you something kind of resembles a daffodil or maybe a crazy tulip, whatever you want to call it. But use your cutters to create different flowers. That's the whole purpose of this. So what I have is a premium icing sheet. I've used the iDesign pattern and inside their program. So when you go on Icing Images website, go to their iDesign program, and you can look through and look at wonderful designs that you can use, templates that you can transfer to your icing sheet and make all different crazy things. So today what I've done is I'm using Creations by Edith. These are her cutters. So it's a two-piece cutter, and all I did was place it on my icing sheet. I pressed down. As you can see, I've already cut, and the petal came apart, which they typically do when you're doing these kind of cutters. And what I'm going to do, as I've done here, is you go from the center in between the petal, and you go out, and then you release it from itself, and then that way you get all the different petals that you need. So I've already done that over here on this. So we're going to go ahead and get started. The same way with this, I put it on the icing sheet, I press down, I cut out the design I wanted, and then I have them here. What I did was, when you use bigger petals, you need a better support system in them to help hold them up. So you can do that one of two ways. You can either glue two together, like I have here with using Tylose edible glue. So I've glued two together and I've trimmed the excess away. Or you can take, if you like, the same way we use the bows, you can do Isomalt down the center, and that will also help hold the petals together. Let me do that very quickly and let you see what that looks like. It is better if you pour it. I don't have anything ready at this moment. Let me do this very quickly. What you do is you take and you put a swipe down the middle. Less is best. In this case, I may have used too much. If I do it quickly, I'm okay. There you go. I did it. So now I've got this as my support system when I make my flower, and it will hold up. Now, because this is Isomalt, you want to kind of hold it in a circular shape. That way, when it cools, it will give you that rounded look that you're going to want on your flower. And when you do it this way, you don't have to worry about the petals leaning backwards, and you can go ahead and use it right away. These three petals, I used Tylose to glue them together. As you can see, it's the same thing. These are still a little bit more pliable to where this one now is firm. So I am going to go ahead and use that one on my center. This is Isomalt from Cake Play that I have bought. It was purple. I softened it, I made it into a spiral design, and I did use a grape color luster dust from the Sugar Art, Edward Fry's company. Wonderful colors, and I enhanced it with that. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and attach this petal to my center and to create this flower. Now, what I have discovered is Isomalt is wonderful. I call it the super glue of the cake world now, because not only can you make beautiful showpieces and centerpieces with this, you can also use it to attach these petals. It's perfect because icing sheets are formulated to attach to each other and melt into each other to become one. Using the Isomalt, it dries very quickly and hardens. Therefore, it doesn't allow the icing sheet its true reaction and keeps it in its integrity. So I'm going to take and just place a thin amount on the bottom of my petal, like so, and then I'm going to attach it to the gum paste that I have down at the bottom. Now I use gum paste because you have to have something for your petal to attach to, and gum paste works the best. So now that I've attached that one, I'm going to go ahead and use the other two that I have the Tylose holding them together. Now in this one, I'm going to put one dab of Isomalt here and Isomalt on this bottom. I'm going to attach it here, then I'm going to attach it to my center as I go around to make the center of my flower. A little bit here and a little bit here. You have to move a little quickly. I've attached here, and then I come around and I attach here. If I did not move quickly enough and my bottom is already hardened by the time I get there, that is not a problem. You just go ahead and attach, just tack a little bit more there, and then you're fine. So there you go. Okay, so I've got part of my flower done. Now as you'll notice, on these I've used double-sided. I did double-sided because I need the strength because of the height. If you use Isomalt in the middle, that also will help hold support and you'll be fine. Now I'm going to go ahead and apply Isomalt here and down there, and that will finish tacking my petals together as I go around. There you go. Get this one, and then I'm going to hold it so it doesn't pull on each other, and then I'm going to put just a little bit on this last part here, and then I'm going to push them together. Let me use my X-Acto knife as leverage to help hold it together, and now I have the center of my flower. And I'm going to turn these out just a little bit. So now I have that. Now that I have the center done, I want to put petals on there. The same way that you attach the petals for a rose, you're going to attach these petals to this flower also. Now I did leave them print side up, so I'm going to do it that way. And I'm going to put the beautiful pointed edge from the cutter, that is my outside. So like we did with the rose in one of the other videos, I'm just going to lightly apply Isomalt to the petal. And then I'm going to attach this one a little high because I want to do 2 rows. So I have that one. Let me hold them in my hand. That way it makes it a little bit easier to hold and to do. I'm going to take Isomalt here, and I'm going to attach it next to this one, and I'm just going to work my way all the way around the flower, the base of the flower, until I'm done. So let me do that. Now remember, icing sheets are a humidity based product, meaning that the humidity in your area that you're working will have an effect on it. If it's dry, it will dry out faster. If there's a lot of humidity in the room, it will stay very soft for a long period of time. So keep that in mind as you're working on it, working with this. I have found that if you take a fan and have it nearby, if you're in a high humidity area, and you run the fan, that does help with the humidity with what you're working with. So now I've got that, and I want to do one more row of petals around the outside edge just to give it a little bit of a fuller look to it. As I said before, this is kind of like a crazy tulip daffodil type of flower. You just have to spread the Isomalt on the bottom of the petal very smoothly, and then lightly touch it to where you're applying it as you go around your flower. Remember, less is best. Too much Isomalt only will melt into the icing sheet and will cause it to come away. It does not help it attach faster. Okay, there you go. Now I did choose a purple. I could have used any color. I was hoping to make it stand out, but there you go. There's a crazy flower. As you can see, it's double printed, so the same on the inside and out. Now I could have left this a solid yellow, backed it with yellow to enhance it, or an orange. So at this point I've got this crazy flower that I've now made that could go on a cake. Again, using iDesigns with icing images and their premium icing sheets and Cake Play Isomalt for the center, and to use it as an attachment for the flowers. Remember, as I showed you on the one petal, you can run Isomalt through the center. With doing it that way, it does make it more stable, and you can make a bigger petal that way also, and you don't have to worry about it falling apart. I also like the way it's, you can see the petals are slightly releasing. It adds more fullness to the flower, and I think it makes it look a little prettier. So now to attach this to a cake, you can do it one of two ways. I typically do not like using sticks inside cakes. This is a spaghetti stick that I've used, a piece of spaghetti, a thicker piece. And what you do now is I have taken, this was a circle, and I used a pair of scrapbooking scissors and I cut a design around the outside edge. On one area, I took my X-Acto knife and I went from the center all the way out. And then in the middle, I made little pie cuts. As you can see, there's little pie cuts. This will help wrap the green base around your flower. So what I'm going to do is I'll show you how to do that. Just don't place Isomalt all the way around it and try to stick it. You will not get the control that you're looking for. So what you do is you place a little bit of Isomalt on the base of your flower, and then you start by placing a green part there. Now you want this to bend as you go around. So what I'm going to do is lightly place tack points around my flower. There you go. And I'm come to this side and I'm going to use the rest of that here. So I'm going to tack that here. And I'm going to tack this here. There you go. And I'm going to come around to the last piece and tack it there. Like so. Now you want to squeeze in the bottom that you're using, and that will give you a nice green finish to your flower. These don't have to touch underneath because you can do one of two things. You can either cut this off at this point and go ahead and glue it to the top of your cake, or you can leave it on the stick, on the spaghetti stick as I say, and then you can just place it inside your cake, like so. If you were doing a cake that way, then as you add your other flowers to it, it all kind of goes together and the green is just an undercover background picture. Now, you can also cut the spaghetti stick off all the way and then use Isomalt to attach it to your fondant covered cake, and then you have a pretty flower. So enjoy, use your cutters, don't limit yourself to just roses and calla lilies. There's too many other designs out there that you can do. Nothing is off limits as long as you're using premium icing sheets and Isomalt. You can make any flower that you want. Enjoy, check out my other videos. Catch you later, bye.